Okay, in this quick video, we want to discuss time entry and specifically crew-based time entry. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we have it set up properly. So we're going to go into our timesheets and look at configuration setting and click on crews. We don't have any crews set up, so let's create one really quickly. I'm going to call it Brant's Crew. And then down below, we have a couple of tabs. First of all, we're going to figure out who we want to assign to our crew. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to pick a couple people. I'll put Brant. I'll put Lee and Melissa on here as well. And we'll select those individuals so we can see their details here. And then we're going to select the jobs and the analytic accounts or cost codes that we want to be able to have available on this timesheet that we're creating. So we'll go through and we'll select some jobs and some cost codes. Let's just say that we're going to put in some time for demolition. We'll put in rough carpentry, and let's also put in some finished carpentry. So we can add in these cost codes for these jobs, but we can also put in cost codes for other jobs. So let's just select another job here, and we'll add one to that as well. So a painting cost code for the bleaker job. And we'll go ahead and hit save. So to create, now that we have this crew and this time card basically set up, to create time, we just come into the timesheets and click on the crew-based timesheet. We're going to hit the create button. We're going to select which crew we want to add time for. And when we do that, it's going to show us basically what we just created. So here we're adding time for this specific day. And we can go in and we can put in whatever day that we want. But we're going to enter time for today. So Brant worked, he worked 3 hours demolition and then did an hour of carpentry and then had to go over to the bleaker job and did 4 hours of painting. Lee, he's more of a finish guy, so he's going to be on, going to do finished carpentry on that job. Melissa, she's helping out all over the place. So she's got 3 hours here, she's got 2 hours here, and we need to get this painting done, so she heads over and does 3 hours there as well. So as we fill in this time, now you can see down below that we have the totals for each one of those individuals. Brant, Lee, and Melissa all have 8 regular hours and no overtime hours. We also have totals over here for all of the individuals. And we can come in here and we can validate and we can delete these times, or we can add in different times. We can also come down over here at the very bottom and we can select new jobs and new cost codes to add into this time card. So if there's something that we do today that's not typically in our regular time card, we could go through and we can add those items right there. When we have everything completed, all we're going to do now is hit save. And that's going to go through and it's going to create some transactions, or some analytic transactions, we call them. If we click on the details tab, we can see what's really happening. So we can see that we have these analytic transactions for a job and for a user and all these hours. And it's going to code this time and these costs over to this particular analytic account for this job. So now that we have this time card and it's set up and it's ready to go, if you look at the status up here at the top, it's in an open state. And that means that right now, the way we have it set up, it needs to get approved. So we're going to submit this to the manager. And now if we look at this time card, it's waiting the manager's approval. So I'm actually logged in as the administrator. I can approve everything. So when I look in my timesheets and I look at to approve, I'm going to see these 2 timesheets that have been entered. But now all I have to do is I need to click on this item and I can see all of the details of this particular timesheet. I can see the summary there and I can either refuse it or approve it. So hopefully that was helpful. We would love to hear your feedback. As always, we want to make this as easy as possible.